Hey, I was just touching base to see when you think you might be coming back. I'm worried you're not gonna find your people.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Clark. I have no people.
SUPERGIRL, directed by Greg Gillespie, written by Anna Negrara? I don't mean to disrespect that writer or her lineage. And plus, she's a first-time screenwriter, so maybe I shouldn't know her name yet. I think I heard she's writing Wonder Woman, so maybe by Wonder Woman time, by the time Wonder Woman get here, I'll know her last name for sure. In this movie, Supergirl, played by Millie Alcock, is out in the vastness of space on her 23rd birthday. She's on a planet with a red sun to get herself as drunk as a skunk because she has clearly a drinking problem due to her past. What's her past? Well, just like Clark, she's from Krypton. Yeah, Krypton. What the fuck? I'm getting everything wrong today. And everybody knows what happened to Krypton. The shit blew up. It's gone. It's no longer existing, and she was there to witness it. So she holds a lot of trauma, and that trauma can only be buried down by the weight of liquor. As she's drinking, she meets this girl, Ruthie, played by Eve Ridley, and Ruthie proposes, "Hey guys, somebody killed my family, so I have a sword here, and to anybody that would kill this man or who helps me in my quest of killing this man, you will get this sword." What happens is she tells her, "Hey kid, you don't want no part of this revenge stuff. I know your family's dead and that's sad. And I know this man did it and you could get revenge on him, but that's not going to help you out in any way. Not any way substantial to yourself. You just going to get more and more messed up stuff going on in your brain, your heart, your body, your soul. So just go and try to live the best life you can live." Ruthie says, "Man, nigga, fuck all that shit, bullshit, bro. I'm killing this nigga." The bad guy, Krim, played by Matthias Schoenaert. He's Krim of the Yellow Hills. Who is Krim of the Yellow Hills? He's just evil. He's just, you ever thought about it like a bad guy? You know a bad guy when you see a bad guy, right? Yeah, that's him. He's bad guy McEvil man. He comes across Kara's ship, he takes her ship, shoots Crypto with a poisonous dart, dog in peril. Now Supergirl has to go off and get an antidote in 3 days' time before her dog dies. We're on a mission, and now this now helps out her and Ruthie at this point, because Ruthie's like, yeah, now you got a reason to go after this man. So now I'm definitely going to attach myself to you because I know that's who you going after. That's who I'm going after. So let's just team up and go after him together. You get the antidote. I get to kill this nigga. I feel like everybody wins here. So then they have a buckling adventure through the cosmos, going from place to place, Guardians of the Galaxy set to Guardians of the Galaxy set. You're learning more and more about Krim and his evilness. Turns out he's like a pedophile. That was one thing where I was just like, okay, this movie's doing some things different. I ain't never seen a superhero show or movie in which they just said, yeah, the villain's a pedophile. Not only that, he's also a sex trafficker. They usually have those type of things when it comes to superhero movies and stories for like the dark, gritty, underbelly ones, like a Punisher or a Daredevil show or something like that, or movie. They don't usually put that in like a brightly colored, trying to be awe-inspiring Supergirl or Superman movie, like the AAA superhero movies. You don't usually get sex traffickers and pedophiles in those type of movies unless they're like a part of the cast, but not actually in the movie itself. I really like this movie. This is probably not one of my favorite superhero movies, but it's a really good, fun movie. It's a nostalgic piece to this type of film. It's like a 2010s, like mid 2010s Marvel movie. That type of Marvel movie where you sit down, it's giving you some good action. Our actors are really good in the role. You really feel for our characters. The movie looks good. And it is trying something with our characters. You have a very flat villain, but I think they do it here better because this villain, even though he is just like one-sided, flat, evil McEvil man, his evilness is so much. Like, he's so evil. He's so maniacal. And he's just so like I revel in just being evil and doing bad things that you start to just feel like this man, you start to attach this nigga gotta go. This is kind of a Supergirl origin story in which they show you her backstory and how she got to this and what is her trauma that is causing her to act this way. And you really do feel for her in those scenes when they take you there, and it's very emotional. Millie Alcock is the Supergirl. She's really good at this. I like her. I liked following her throughout this entire film. And I think the first time you see her use her Supergirl powers is, to me, personally, is the best moment of the film. Because this movie's like, maybe like 2 hours, I think. The first 30 minutes to 40 minutes, she's not a Supergirl yet. You know, she doesn't have her power. She's on this red sun planet. There's a lot of shenanigans and stuff like that. When she is on this space bus is when she first gets her, you know, her superhero powers back. And I like the way they shot that scene, and I felt that. I felt the power. I was after that scene happened, I was in this movie for sure. I like the way they show the perspective of Ruthie, who's been looking for this grand champion to take her on this quest of revenge, and how they shoot her as if you're watching her from Ruthie's perspective as she's gaining her power and she becomes like this mystic figure for a moment. You like, oh yeah, this is good. It is, and it's just extremely badass, and I'm here for it. There's a little comedic scene in between there that maybe we didn't need to do that, but this movie is more of a comedy. There's a lot more levity, which I do think sometimes that messes with the tone of the film, because the movie is so comedic and lighthearted, but yet it deals with such not so lighthearted subjects. And there's not a lot of lighthearted things actually going around in the story. Like I said, there's girls being trafficked. There's pedophilia just openly stated out in this movie about this. There's families being killed. Like, the subjects are extremely heavy, but the movie is extremely light and it's playful, which I do think maybe that may call that. Sometimes I was like, okay, this is like really serious. Like, there's just trafficked young girls. Like, I get you want to do these needle drops and fun action scenes, but you just showed us young girls being trafficked and being stowed away to be breeded and raped by galactic space pirates. I don't know if the needle drops need to be here right now. And there's a lot of needle drops in this movie. That was one of the negatives, I will say. There's a lot of needle drops that don't feel like is fitting the actual movie. They're just needle drops for needle drops. But the action, though, even through the annoyances of the needle drops, are still pretty good. Sometimes they're a little bit too tight and a little bit too quick cutted. So sometimes you can't really see what she's doing, because the action is sometimes filmed too close in, where she's punching or pushing. You don't really know what the hell's happening. Also, this movie is obviously meant to be a rated R movie, but it's PG-13. So sometimes, that's more so when Lobo comes into the movie. So sometimes Lobo, played by Jason Momoa, will come into this movie and do some rated R shit. But it's like when you're watching a rated R movie that you know where this super violent or bad thing is going to happen, and you've watched the rated R version and it's a lot more seamless, but now it's like on like TBS or something, and now the moment the rated R happens, it's like this quick cut to a reaction and back to the scene again, to just so you don't see the violence and the carnage and the bad thing that they shot. That's kind of how some of the stuff here with Lobo and the action is in this movie. You can tell they shot some things that are like rated R like, but they couldn't get past, maybe they couldn't get past the boards. And it was like, yeah, you can't just show a guy get decapitated. So you have to cut around that. And it's very awkward and weird and too quick to really know what the hell is happening. You kind of understand what happened because he makes a comment about it, like, aha, I got the head. So you can know what happened. But if he didn't say that, if you didn't have the context clues or the actual just dialogue here to tell you what happened, you'll be like, what was that cut? What just happened? Is that guy okay or not? I don't know. Eve Ridley here as Ruthie, really good. I was just really invested in her, and I was really on her side of just like, yeah, go kill this nigga. He killed your family just in cold blood. I liked cram as a villain in here as well, because he is just evil bad guy. They didn't try to convolute his backstory with anything about how this thing happened to me, so this is why I must do what I do. No, he's just like, man, I like being with my boys, because he's like the leader of this all boys race. So he's just like, man, I'm with my boys, man. We like going around the world and going around the galaxy, just taking shit and killing shit. And like I said, we're pedophiles. He's just like everything bad in the world personified. And I like the one note simplicity of his character in this, that they didn't try to convolute his evilness with this. Maybe you can see it from this perspective. There is no perspective to see why he's doing this. He's just bad. Overall, I just found Supergirl to just be fun, darkly lighthearted, with some good action, great performances. And I didn't feel the runtime. It was a smooth runtime. It was smooth from beginning to end. There was no points where I was like, okay, can we get past this? Or there was no points where I was like, damn, we here too goddamn long. It felt like a smooth progression from beginning to end. So that's why I'm giving Supergirl a 7 out of 10. It's a fun little superhero summer blockbuster that I do think you can go out and see. I think you will have fun watching it as well. But hey, that's just my opinion. If you disagree with me, subscribe. You may be like, wait, why you tell me subscribe if I disagree? Well, maybe we didn't agree this time, but next time we might. So that's why you have to subscribe to see when or when we won't agree. Maybe we didn't agree this time. Maybe we will next time. So you got to subscribe to keep up and to see if we will or won't agree. So I'm just asking you to subscribe, not like. Obviously, we disagree. So there's no reason. So there's no reason to like the video. But if we do agree and you're new here, well, hey, like and subscribe. Hey, you already agree with me and you watched to this long in the video. So I must be making videos you want to see. So you might as well subscribe and like while you're here. And if you're already subscribed, and you're like, Kyle, this is the one I agree with you on, man, you know what to do. Like and comment. I agree. If you're a subscriber and you're like, Kyle, I can't rock with this one, man. This shit was trash. I disagree. Well, you know what to do. Comment I disagree. Stay subscribed. You know, next video, maybe last video we agreed. This video disagree. So you see how this shit happens. Thank you for watching. And as always, good and bye.